TV. So, on the 31st day of January, and Speaker Alban Bagbin has suspended 4 MPs from the floor of Parliament from taking part in parliamentary business because of their involvement in the chaos at the vetting committee a day before. Minority side, akasa for home bebre, mpo enede ofia parliament MPs no, they were dressed in red and black awadi kojabo nti to register their displeasure about the decision of the speaker to suspend some members of parliament. Na bekaya sanse we nyina ko si obra na vetting committee no ejumede erekoso. Sabi da busua speaker of parliament ose waye ne ho akura ono ase wakaw na so wenya eden anwe ono an kan say was suspend na so sabi de wama yati ase say sabi say oba ejare na egu osre so a ye ntwa nkyere na mom ya pepa eno nti no watwa so kakra eye sabi de one lifted ban no on those 4 MPs including the minority chief whip Honorable Frank Ano Don Prena Fenson, Honorable Roxanne Nelson, the former of the NDC Abusia. Yabako Sanse me into details. And no change no. Afeyo Markins, our minority leader, Wakasa Fasa decision speaker take it to lift the ban no and actually say he's going to make sure that this thing does not repeat itself on the floor of parliament. And no he's going to admit on the side of the MPP say whatever happened, no, he should be blamed. Wajatum. Make sure say Busuyansa na yebeko nsebe so no subscribe here, but more than subscribe to Umsika TV on YouTube. Now Facebook follow you on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Umsika TV. It's a Busuya Bekaya on January 31. And I will talk about Speaker of Parliament Alban for Sumana Bagbin suspended 4 MPs for their alleged involvement in the chaos who say so at the vetting committee during their Honorable Kwabena Mita Kando, Minister Designate for Health, now face Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, Foreign Affairs Minister Designate, Eco PMO before the vetting committee, misunderstanding by Yebu microphones, ne other tables, ne Japadi glass in Ebu born passa, ne Asembia rem. Sabri the Speaker of Parliament, Ose, or no one or kind, now Sabri the or the Ache, in say Oba Eja, the 9 goes to ye got name with paper, and you know. He has tampered justice with mercy. Sabri de Osusu said the MPs involved complied with the directive not to step their foot in the presence of parliament. Who did so? Ma who say yes, they are law abiding for that matter. What do you say? What was Kakra? A year and Untino, Sabri the Speaker of Parliament. But pronouncing the lifting of that ban immediately take effect. The MPs who were suspended can now take part in activities of the House. Sabri de Ebusia, you could see how those pronouncements was done by the Speaker of Parliament.
And for me to preserve and uphold that might, majesty, and dignity of the House, I should not shed any responsibility in applying and enforcing the rules. And that was exactly what I did. Even though some of the members are my personal friends, I refer to as sons. So please, you can ask your leaders when they approach me with this. Yes, as a father, when your son commits an offense, you don't punish the son to the extent that you break his or her leg. That becomes a big problem for you, the father. And nobody is perfect. We are all fallible. So I listened to the apology, and here it was repeated by the minority leader for and on behalf of the members of the caucus, and supported by the majority leader. it's not only words. Before me, they demonstrated and assured me of their total support to me and the deputy speakers to ensure that we have an efficient and an effective functioning parliament in Ghana. So I am satisfied with not just the statement, but also their conduct. And I will proceed to lift the suspension of the 4 members of Parliament that I considered were involved in disorderly conduct which amounted to contempt. The rules are very clear, and I did refer to them and stated clearly that because we are in the transitional mood, we've not been able to put committees in place, including that of the Privileges and Immunities Committee. And the standing orders grant me the power and authority to do what I did. And clearly, the jurisprudence are very clear that when contempt is committed in facie curia, you don't proceed to set up another committee or court or whatever to investigate and submit a report. And so I referred to the one in Parliament. My very good honorable member, you are at liberty, even after this, to proceed anywhere. I have no problem meeting you in court, but that's where I was farming for many years before I became a member of Parliament. So I have lifted the suspension order, and I do so instantly, and it takes effect immediately. The honorable members so affected are permitted now to enter the presence of the House. I must say that they complied. They actually complied with the orders. And the standing orders are clear. And presence of Parliament is defined. And we have the men and women to enforce the law. And they actually did enforce the law. So I want to commend the members and also the law enforcement agencies, Marshal's Department, the police service, for their support. Let me once again assure the House of my commitment to upholding the dignity of this House. All of you seated here, I am responsible for upholding your rights and protecting.
So ahead of this suspension of the, and as ahead of this lifting of the ban, earlier today, before parliamentary proceedings, you will say MPs, when addressing in red and black attire, what the Kojabu will teach that, so when you break, they are against the decision of the Speaker to suspend some MPs, including some from their side. Almost 3 of them were the MPs. And tonight I said, what you share more, and I was sure. Quiet Speaker fast when they dress in their red and black to register their displeasure about the whole suspension of the MPs. Now we are actions are what giving assassinate, they were singing patriotic songs to register their displeasure, their anger over the decision of the Speaker of Parliament. Every day, Nyame the Speaker or beer time, yo, and it will still a supreme. Or say, or the one money na ache no. Go and sin no more. That is what they have been told. What the minority people did, even ahead of this pronouncement of the lifting of the ban on the MPs earlier in Parliament today. Na busua we nyinaa na ɔfare bai sɛ sɛ ɔpɛhene tena fie na sɛ mmɔfra nya nanka yɛbu no nankawini anaasɛ yɛka nankawefoɔ a yɛde ne ka ho because the leader of the minority caucus in parliament is Honorable Alexander Kwame Afenyomakin, MP for Efutu. On the two guys say he accepts all the blame for what happened on the side of the MPP because we all know say parliament has two caucuses, the majority and the minority, and whatever happened, it came from the two sides. It is not only one side that engaged in that act. Nemo, on the side of the MPP, he's saying that he's taking responsibility for whatever happened that day, and he's promising that he's going to ensure that such things do not occur again. Because you see how Honorable Alexander Afenyomakin is the whole thing at Ekoso, and I think they're going to make sure that they don't repeat such thing on the floor of Parliament and again.
I, on behalf of my caucus, would want to assure the public that such an action will not be seen in the public space again. Mr. Speaker, I take full responsibility as a leader on my side on all actions that took place. I will therefore conclude by inviting you, Mr. Speaker, to, in the circumstance and with assurances given, to consider a rescission of the decision you communicated to the House, as well as all consequential matters thereto. Mr. Speaker, without more, I shall thank you for hearing me and resume my seat. Thank you very much.
Even Kojo Oponkroma, MP for Fasa Rebi, on Swaka Safa, Sansemi, Mochre say they were going to challenge the decision and all that. And also, Bessie could see some Honorable Kojo Oponkroma, so Kafa, the suspension of the MPs, and even proud to the lifting of the ban. Now, I said they were all expressing their views that they were against the decision by the Speaker to suspend the MPs because they think the Speaker do not have that power to do that, and he did. So they were all against the decision. TNT some Honorable Kojo Oponkroma so the decision of the Speaker of Parliament no
has your members as well. Will your members partake in the business?
Our members have not participated. Again, the standing orders are clear on what it takes to set up an ad hoc committee. You would have to consult leadership, and leadership will nominate their members. You heard Mr. Speaker say that he himself has elected to put some people on the committee. Again, that is in flagrant disregard of the standing orders, and that's why we will not be able to comply with that.
Finally, from me, the appointments committee report. Some of them you told already. Are we?
Now, a question is being asked about the appointment committee report, whether they would take a decision on the nominees.
I haven't seen the reports from the committee. When the committee brings the report of those that were vetted, we will exercise our minds to it. We do understand that some persons were vetted by the dissolved committee. We are not sure that that amounts to vetting. When it gets there, we'll address it. I'll see you guys.
All right. What do you make of Speaker and you turn away make it CA on this case? Because suspension by the we break and say, oh, Speaker, why are they? Why are they? Why are they? Why are they? And then answer and then nine. Speaker, or left the ban. Are you satisfied with the punishment so far? And I said with the decision to suspend them for some few days. And I said, guys, do something they should elapse all the 2 weeks Abusia, china wadwene say only speaker ya adwene o, only na ya adwene o. Drop your comment in the comment section. Na you can kind of be anya bi enhwe. After special so be share video for so nya bi ahwe. I'm so for na apia abusia. Be dem obesi a. Update dey some ba speakers sem hu. Any parliament sem bi ano. Ya dey on this channel. Stay tuned for more updates. I'm so for na apia. Bye bye.